Welcome to our deep dive into the evolution of Olympic gymnastics. Today we explore how this iconic sport has transitioned from being dominated by youthful stars to embracing the strength and experience of older athletes. We'll examine the significant changes in attitudes, training practices, and the overall culture that are empowering gymnasts to enjoy longer, healthier careers. Join us as we uncover the inspiring stories behind this transformation and celebrate the athletes who are leading the way. Olympic gymnastics is undergoing a significant transformation, moving away from its historical focus on youthful prodigies towards celebrating the achievements of more mature athletes. The 2024 Paris Olympics highlighted this shift, with 4 of the 5 United States team members being women in their 20s, each attending their second Olympics. Notably, Simone Biles, at 27, secured the all-around gold, making her the oldest winner of this title in 72 years. Historically, the all-around title has been dominated by teenagers, with the last non-teenager winner being Soviet gymnast Lyudmila Turasheva in 1972 at age 20. Turasheva's win was overshadowed by the electrifying performance of her younger teammate, Olga Korbut, then 17. Korbut's emergence marked the beginning of an era where teenage Pixies became the face of women's gymnastics, a trend fueled by the sport's acrobatic evolution in the 1970s, which favored smaller, younger athletes. Media and the cult of youth. The media's fascination with young, prodigious gymnasts played a significant role in perpetuating the ideal of the teenage pixie. These young athletes' acrobatic feats were often romanticized as charming or superhuman, overshadowing the intense labor and dedication required. This narrative persisted despite growing concerns about the physical and mental toll on these young athletes. By the late 1990s, awareness of the pressures and exploitation faced by young gymnasts and figure skaters began to surface, notably through Joan Ryan's book, Little Girls in Pretty Boxes. This scrutiny led to changes in the sport's regulations, including the International Gymnastics Federation raising the minimum competitive age from 15 to 16 in 1997 to better protect the athlete's health. Shifting attitudes and longevity in gymnastics. Despite regulatory changes, the sport continued to struggle with paternalistic attitudes towards gymnasts, often viewing them as children rather than autonomous athletes. Research revealed that coaches and officials were slow to adapt, and media coverage frequently clung to the image of the disciplined, cute girl child well into the 2000s. Conversely, gymnasts who defied this ideal were often labeled as divas, with their assertiveness and autonomy seen as negative traits. Prominent examples include Russian gymnast Svetlana Korkina, who, despite her success and continued competition into her 20s, was often portrayed negatively for her outspoken personality. Similarly, world champion Aliyah Mustafina and her teammates faced criticism for their self-assured attitudes, with media attributing their losses or mistakes to these characteristics. The reckoning addressing abuse and toxic culture. The sport faced a major reckoning in 2016 with the Larry Nassar sexual abuse scandal. This case brought to light the widespread abuse and toxic training environments endured by gymnasts, prompting many athletes to speak out. In the wake of these revelations, numerous investigations and independent reviews were conducted, uncovering a history of mistreatment and abuse within the sport. Australia also confronted its past, with a former national coach sanctioned and an Australian Human Rights Commission review highlighting the win-at-all-costs culture that put young athletes at significant risk. Gymnastics Australia issued an apology to survivors of abuse, acknowledging the need for systemic change. The rise of older gymnasts and athlete autonomy. The emergence of older gymnasts in recent years is a positive development, signaling a shift towards longer, healthier careers in the sport. However, the most significant change is the newfound respect for athletes' autonomy. Before the Paris Olympics, USA Gymnastics technical lead Chelsea Memel emphasized that Simone Biles had the option to compete selectively based on her needs, a stark contrast to the rigid expectations of the past. Biles herself set a precedent in 2021 when she withdrew mid-competition during the Tokyo Olympics for mental health reasons, prioritizing her well-being over external expectations. This move was groundbreaking, highlighting the importance of athletes' mental health and their right to make decisions in their best interest. A new era of empowerment in gymnastics. The cultural shift in gymnastics is further exemplified by athletes engaging in normal, everyday activities previously deemed unacceptable, such as eating pizza or making TikToks. This change reflects a broader, more humane approach to the sport, moving away from its oppressive past. For instance, the sight of gymnasts eating pizza during the competition period or creating TikTok videos backstage at the Paris Olympics marks a significant cultural shift. These activities, once frowned upon, are now symbols of a more balanced and humane approach to the sport. This shift is indicative of a broader trend towards valuing athletes' overall well-being, both mentally and physically. The impact of the athlete's voice. The voices of the gymnasts themselves have been instrumental in driving this cultural change. Athletes like Ailey Raisman have openly discussed the fear and pressure they faced regarding their diet and behavior, shedding light on the unrealistic and harmful expectations placed on young gymnasts. Their courage in speaking out has paved the way for a more supportive environment where gymnasts can thrive as both athletes and individuals. The importance of mental health in gymnastics cannot be overstated. Simone Biles' decision to prioritize her mental health during the Tokyo Olympics was a watershed moment for the sport. Her actions underscored the necessity of addressing mental health concerns and set a powerful example for future generations of gymnasts. This paradigm shift towards acknowledging and addressing mental health issues represents a significant step forward in the evolution of gymnastics. Conclusion. The evolution of Olympic gymnastics from a domain dominated by teenage pixies to one where mature, experienced athletes thrive is a testament to the sport's progress. With a focus on athlete autonomy, mental health, and long-term career sustainability, gymnastics is finally moving towards a healthier and more inclusive future. This transformation not only enhances the sport's appeal but also ensures a safer and more supportive environment for all athletes. As we look to the future, the continued emphasis on treating gymnasts as autonomous individuals with agency over their careers will be crucial. The ongoing cultural transformation in gymnastics is fostering an environment where autonomy and choice are becoming the norm. This new era celebrates the athletes' rights to control their careers and lives, marking a significant and positive evolution in the sport. By embracing this new paradigm, gymnastics can continue to evolve, ensuring that it remains a sport where athletes can excel and enjoy long, fulfilling careers. The future of gymnastics looks bright, with a renewed focus on the well-being and empowerment of its athletes.